Hello and welcome to my in-depth video on the 75323, the Justifier. So in this video, talking about a bunch of the features about the set, as well as the minifigures and the design. So if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe, because I do this for all LEGO Star Wars sets. And I'll start off with the box art, and it is quite cool. It's the Bad Batch style box art with like a red line for it. And you can see the like 3 minifigures in the bottom left corner, which are the same as the ones that were in the top right on the 75314 Bad Batch shuttle, but it was a different style of box art. But it's kind of nice that they kept the art, and it does look pretty cool. And you can see the minifigures in the bottom right and the set on the main screen. I think it doesn't look like Camino, but that's where it might supposed to be. Looks a bit like Cloud City in my opinion, but it does look quite nice background for the box art. And then onto the back of the box, you can see a bunch of the features and a different angle of the set, which I'll talk about all a bit more later in the video. But the price is fairly expensive. We're £150 or $170 and 107 euros for 1,022 pieces. That's only slightly more than the Inquisitor Scythe, which is only £90, and that is very high. Like, I know the prices are all up a bit at the moment, and LEGO has increased some of their prices, but for 1,022 pieces, that is really expensive and makes the set really hard to recommend, especially considering there's so many other options like the ATT, which was just revealed, or the Inquisitor Scythe both, which I consider to be better sets. But anyway, it is like, the set is pretty big, and but it doesn't feel like a set. Had they made it much smaller and like, I don't know, £90 or something, it might be more reasonable, but it just doesn't feel like this kind of price for a set. The minifigures are all really cool though, so I'll start off with the first being Cad Bane, and he is really nice. The torso and leg printing are really nicely detailed, and it is quite nice with the like darkish grey on the brown. And you can see he has new ventilation tubes, which are really cool, and they do look really accurate. And it's kind of interesting that they went with new ones. I would have expected them to keep the old ones, but it is quite nice that they went with new ones. And you can see his hat and face print. The face print is really nicely detailed. Then we have TODO 360, and I'm really quite impressive for like they decided to go with a mold for it, and it is pretty cool. I kind of half expected them to make it out of like pieces, but it wouldn't have looked as good. But yeah, it is a really nice minifigure and nicely detailed, especially considering how small it is. And then we have Omega, and this is the first time we've got Omega, and it is pretty cool. The arm printing is really nice, and you can see the face printing is kind of lacking in my opinion. There's not really that much detail, and yeah, it doesn't come with a bow, which is kind of disappointing. It would have been nice had they included that. But it is the first time we get Omega, and it is quite nice and one of the main draws for this set. Then we have Hunter, and this seems to be the same as the one from the 75314. I can't see any differences other than the image is really, don't like the way it's done compared to, this is really accurate to what it actually looks like, whereas this is slightly misleading to what it looks like. But this isn't actually the new helmet design, interestingly, because there's holes above them in all the ones from the ATT, and they've kept the same minifigure design. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they didn't go with the new helmet. And then last but not least, we have the Fennec minifigure, and it seems to be the same as the one that was in the 75315, as it has the helmet, and it is pretty cool. It is really nicely detailed, and the patterns are all nice. Also, it does seem to come with the hairpiece. If you look at like all this kind of random pieces come with the set, it does look like there's a hairpiece included, which is pretty nice. But overall, they're quite good minifigures. They are one of the main draws of the set, albeit Omega, in my opinion, is lacking some detail. Onto the set itself, it is pretty big, like it's fairly massive. It does remind me a lot of the Republic Bricks custom set, and it is really quite similar to that. But I'll start by talking about the play features. And you can see the landing gear all moves around, but the main like play feature is the big hammer-like structure, which is actually the engine can rotate so it's flat or go all the way up. And that is pretty cool, something that I was kind of expecting, because it is one of the main like features or something that you see a lot in the Bad Batch show. But you can see here on the box art, for some reason they didn't include image for this, and this is something Lego's been doing a bit more recently, where they don't include images of the features, which kind of annoys me because it's kind of annoying because if you like miss them, then it's something that you won't actually see before you buy the set. But anyway, you can see here that it has space for the spring-loaded shooters underneath. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's on both sides as far as I can tell. And you can see in the top corner, the interior is quite nice. You've got space for blasters, a couple thermal detonators, and then like a prison cell for Omega. And you can see that whole top section removes. As well, if you look at the back of the set, in the image next to it, it does seem to have a ramp that opens at the back of the set, which is quite a nice feature. But yeah, the set itself is really cool. It's like the dark grey looks really nice, like it's a really nice aesthetic. But £150, it does not look like a £150 set. And you can see, interestingly, they've gone with like the way they've done this. They've stuck them in between studs, which is a good technique and something a lot of mock builders would use. But Lego don't generally do this because it's kind of an illegal technique or something that Lego wouldn't normally do. Kind of interesting that they've done this. But yeah, you can see the back of the set is quite nicely detailed. It is quite a flat set in my opinion. There's not too much 3D at the back, and you can see all the minifigures and some of the stuff that comes in the set being like supplies. I kind of wish it would be more like blasters and thermal detonators. I thought that would be slightly more accurate, but still looks pretty good anyway. And yeah, there is a lot packed into the set. It just does not seem like a £160 set. And you can see a kid playing with it, and yeah, you can see it landed, and like the big hammer goes back, and you can see it up here or kind of half up because it's really easy to move. I believe you can just grab it and drag it around. But yeah, for accuracy, like it is really quite accurate. Like maybe the wings are slightly too long in proportion to height, but other than that, like it's a ridiculously accurate set, and it is a really, really impressive set. Like it is a pretty cool set. It's just ridiculously overpriced. I feel like they've gone slightly overboard on this set and gone further than they might have needed to. Anyway, do hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.